Hello, and welcome to the Wade Borth podcast. I'm your host, Wade Borth, and in every episode, my goal is to get you to think differently about how money works and ultimately to empower you to take control of your money and your personal financing system.
So when we talk about retirement, a lot of people don't understand that the typical retirement planning expert, I'm going to put that in quotes, typically relies on only one economic power. And so I like to talk to people about retirement, about the two economic powers. And so let's just take a step back and analyze, the why behind that. Why are we talking about two economic powers? So a lot of my clients, a lot of people that I've known over the last 35 years in this industry have bought into the traditional planning process of putting money in IRAs, 401ks, investing in the market, investing in the economy, we like to call it. And they think that's the only strategy that's out there. So they put money away for 30 years. The money maybe grows, maybe doesn't, hopefully grows. And then at a certain time in life, 65, for example, they get to this magical mark, and then they have been conditioned to think that we have to consume those dollars. And so think about how crazy that is. We get to a certain point in life, and then we're conditioned to think that we have to consume money at the end of that time frame. The problem, we don't know how long we're going to live after that happens. So you think about it. I have a bucket of money, and it might be, there was a commercial that says, what's your number? How much money do you need for retirement? And people are picking numbers all over the place. The problem is, we know how much money there is. We know how much we want to draw off. But the problem is, how long are you going to live? There's an unknown variable about how much money is actually going to be there. What happens in our mindset is it creates this scarcity mindset. And I've got some personal stories of even some family that look at that each and every day. They get up every morning. So what's the balance of my accounts? And they're afraid to spend money because they don't know how long they're going to live. And they're afraid to run out of money. And this is typical with people that have only used the one economic power, which is the economy. The second economic power that people have used to use and used to understand, and actually most people do today, but they don't quite put together, is actuarial science. So let's talk a little bit about what actuarial science is. This is the ability for people that are trained actuaries, very smart individuals that look at a group of people and say, okay, we understand how long people are going to live and what's the probability, but they don't know you individually how long you're going to live. So the actuarial science is basically out there telling us that, hey, if you're 65 years old and in this certain health situation, there's a real great possibility you're going to live 35 years, 32 years, or whatever it might be, whatever the actuarial tables are telling them. And this has been studied over large groups of people. And for the most part, they're right. For the very most part, they're rarely wrong on that. But again, it doesn't come back down to you. Why not combine the two? And so this is the interesting part of the quote unquote financial environment or financial planning world that we're in, is that everybody wants to use one or the other. But why not use them both? Why not take the best of both and combine them together? Now, I'm a big believer in the infinite banking concept, and we can have a discussion around that. But I also come across people that have large amounts of money in their IRAs and their retirement plans. And then why can't we take those plans and say, okay, you have those plans in place. Let's let the economy grow, see how that goes. Again, we're in the stock market. That's the economy. That's the first economic power. But the second move is to say, well, if the economy goes backwards, let's have a non-correlated asset in your properly structured whole life insurance policy that's designed by actuaries to never go backwards, right? It's a professionally managed bond and real estate portfolio done at the institutional level, designed to never go backwards. So I have part of our money there. So when the economy does go down, the economy does crash, we have a pool of assets that's not being affected by it. So now at time of retirement, we can choose which one we want versus having only one choice and being at the mercy of the market. And again, we've been conditioned to think that's the only place to put your money. Why are we conditioned to think that? Because there's about 8 or 10 TV channels out there that just talk about putting money in the market. And we're not listening to those that are talking about, well, we should have another place to put our money. It's not real sexy, but it never goes backwards. It's safe. If you have a safe bucket of money, think about how much more enjoyable retirement can be. And the other side of that equation is if we take part of that money that's out there in the economy and we say, hey, I want to turn this into a lifetime income stream. Now, I talked about earlier that most people are impacted by actuarial science, but they don't understand it. That's Social Security. That's a guaranteed payment for the rest of your life. What if we could take part of that bucket of money that you have in the market and turn it into a guaranteed income stream for the rest of your life? How much more security, how much more enjoyable is your retirement when you wake up on the first of every month and there's a check deposited in your account? You don't have to worry about where the market goes. You know that money's going to be there, guaranteed each and every day for the rest of your life. How fabulous would that be? Because those with assets are miserable in retirement. Those with income, cash flow, are happy in retirement. So let me just repeat that. Those with assets typically are miserable in retirement because they're worried, they're concerned. They always have fear of running out of money. Those with cash flow, those with guaranteed money coming into the account each and every day, get up and they go out and golf or go out and socialize or go out and fish or whatever it is that they want to do in retirement. They don't worry about where the market's at. All they worry about is, where the fish biting. Again, combining the two can be very important, but we have to have a conversation. You have to, reach out to me, give me a call, send me an email, schedule a time for us to have a conversation about how do we make your retirement portfolio. And again, most people don't really get concerned about this till they're 60 or 65 years old, but that's great. We can still talk about it now. Even if the sooner you start having this conversation, the better it is, but it's never too late. Let's have a conversation around that so we can see how we can turn this asset that you have that's causing concern each and every day in retirement and turn it into something that can give you, that peace of mind that you're looking for. And once you have that peace of mind that you're looking for, then wherever the market goes, wherever the economy goes, it's going to be a much smaller concern for you because now you know that you have that guaranteed bucket of money that's not correlated to the market. And also you have part of your money that's going to give you guaranteed income for the rest of your life. And so you don't have to worry. You wake up one day and your account's worth half. That's not going to be the concern. All you have to know is that, hey, the check was deposited. Let's go play. So again, give us a call. We'd love to have that conversation. And then let's find some peace of mind that you're looking for when it comes to retirement.
If you're enjoying this podcast or know anyone else that might be interested, please be sure to hit the subscribe button and please leave a review. This will help this podcast reach and help more people by ranking higher in searches and ultimately help more people get out of financial bondage. And don't be afraid to share this podcast with your friends and family, as we can be easily found on Apple Podcasts and Spotify.